The hero of our story is Thomas Edison. In the year 1870, his latest creation, the so-called ether propeller, heralded the beginning of a new age of discovery. After an adventurous journey, he crash-landed on Mars and was able to finally confirm that there's intelligent life on our neighboring planet. Today, all major colonial powers have fleets of mighty ether ships and compete against each other for dominance in the solar system, on Mars, Venus and even Mercury. Countless secrets are waiting to be discovered out there, and the voyage into space has only just begun. It's the year 1889.
Space 1889 richtet sich vor allen Dingen an Leute, die klassische Abenteuer.
The setting of Space 1889 is especially targeting people who like classical adventure stories like those of Edgar Rice Burroughs, Jules Verne or H.G. Wells. Politics in the world of Space 1889 is quite similar to our historical reality. For example, Europe is dominated by several monarchies, with the exception of France and Switzerland. The Victorian Empire, reaching the peak of its might and influence on Earth, has charted and colonized big parts of the planet. In this setting, Mars is home to an ancient civilization that's only kept alive through the relics of their ancestors. Venus is overgrown with humid jungles full of dinosaurs, and Mercury is almost as hostile as his real counterpart, but target for expeditions searching for new resources and ores. Especially prized is the Martian liftwood.
Eine der interessantesten Entdeckungen, die Edison neben der alten.
One of the most interesting discoveries Edison made on Mars is liftwood, a kind of wood that counters gravity, which makes it possible to build flying ships out of it, which means it is of great interest for every colonial power on Earth. Martians have been building liftwood ships for several millennia, but for the powers of Earth they are a big new strategic advantage that everyone wants to get their hands on. Which isn't always that easy, since it mostly grows on the territory of the hostile highland Martians.
Hauptsächlich im Gebiet der Hügelmarsianer wächst.
Liftwood enables the powers of Earth to expand their conflicts to other planets, but only the Germans succeeded in colonizing great parts of Venus and civilize its lizardmen inhabitants with their Zeppelin technology, since liftwood isn't working properly in the atmosphere of Venus. For role players, there are countless opportunities for exciting and thrilling adventures.
Ob sie jetzt als Großwildjäger Dinosaurier jagen auf der Venus, als Archäologen die Relikte des Mars erforschen.
Exploring the wilderness of Venus and hunting dinosaurs, excavating lost relics on Mars, going on diplomatic missions between the planets, or playing as a group of rich gentlemen accompanied by their butlers, just trekking around the solar system out of curiosity. And don't forget about Earth. Most parts are already charted and mapped, but huge stretches of land in Africa, South and Middle America are still unexplored, and the characters could find the grave of Tutankhamun 40 years before Howard Carter, or make other discoveries that were only made later in our real world.
Sind unerforscht und die Charaktere könnten genauso gut 40 Jahre vor Howard Carter das Grab von Tutanchamun finden oder andere Entdeckungen machen, die halt in unserer realen Welt tatsächlich erst später passieren.
Space 1889 was originally published from 1988 till 1991 by Game Designers Workshop. There was a reprint of the old material, but the new version from Uhrwerk Publishing is far more than that. The background material was updated and expanded, and the new rules allow for playable Martians and Venusians.
In der deutschen Ausgabe werden die
In the German book there are both old and new texts, many of the latter dealing with Venus, which was never described in detail before. But there is all kinds of information that hasn't been in the old books, fleshing out the universe and enabling players to create Martian and Venusian characters.
Nicht zur Verfügung standen, selbst wenn man die alte Space-Ausgabe noch irgendwo haben sollte.
Stefan Küppers is the line developer of the Space 1889 core rulebook. The well-known author for Das Schwarze Auge, The Dark Eye, is a big fan of science fiction and steampunk, and with the German sourcebook he delivered a whopping 260 pages with numerous new illustrations and full-color archetypes that are supporting the atmospheric texts.
Ich mag verrückte Erfindungen. Und ich mag eine Welt, in der noch vieles zu entdecken ist, auch in der unsere Welt noch zu erforschen.
I like weird science, and I like a world where there is still a lot of secrets to discover. Our Earth, but also the other worlds our solar system has to offer, encountering the cultures of Mars and Venus, exploring the mysteries of the Earth's moon and the asteroid belt. In a time when a lot of RPG settings are dark and gritty, it's nice to be able to play a gentleman character in a world of new inventions, new discoveries, who explores the solar system and encounters enemies who also are gentlemen and also act that way. It's playing with the clichés of the Victorian era and steampunk elements that fit well with the Space 1889 universe.
Gegner, die nicht nochmal zuschlagen, wenn man am Boden liegt. Das wird sicherlich nicht der Hügelmarsianer sein, aber es ist auch ein Klischee des Spiels mit viktorianischen Elementen oder mit Elementen aus dieser Zeit und ja, auch mit Elementen, die auch beim Steampunk verwendet werden, die aber auch sehr, sehr gut zu Space 1889 passen.